honey. It is hotter than your daddy at last summer's 4th of July barbecue. You know, I could really use one of them boba ice cream balls right about now. Wow, what am I gonna do now? Hey, how's it going, guys? Thank you for stopping by the channel. My name is Nathan. Today we're making brown sugar boba ice cream. So whether they're sold out at your stores or if you just want to try making that at home, I'm going to show you guys a quick and easy way with just a handful of ingredients. So if you're ready, grab your popsicle sticks and we're going to get started. We're going to start off with our boba, which is actually more of a mochi. We're going to be using glutinous rice flour instead of tapioca flour that you would usually use to make regular boba. And then we're also going to be using dark Muscovado sugar. This is a more unrefined sugar, so it's going to create a cleaner, more caramel taste. But if you only have dark brown sugar or if you only have mochico flour, you can go ahead and try using that. It might not result in the same texture when it gets frozen. So I'm going to go ahead and weigh out the ingredients with the scale. I'm going to meet you guys down here where I'm going to measure out the ingredients.
Choose your fighter.
Lightning inspired. Fight.
Alright, so on a clean work surface, we're going to use potato starch to roll out our dough. So just grab a handful, spread it out on the surface. You can also use cornstarch, whatever you have at home. And then spread it out. You don't want to put too much or too little or it's going to stick to your counter. So we have our dough right here. And then you want to try and work fast. The longer it sits out, it's going to dry. So we're going to plop this right there. And then you just want to take it and you're going to knead it. You're going to knead it until it's nice, smooth, and less sticky. You can add some starch if needed. And then we also have a pot of boiling water started so we can boil once we turn it into the boba balls. Alright, this is what the dough looks like right now. Nice, it's a little bit sticky still, but it's nice and smooth. Copy that. Once you think it's ready, you can form it into a nice ball like this. Pat it. Alright, and this is the dough. I'm gonna cut it into quarters. And we're gonna grab some plastic wrap and we're gonna wrap what we are not using. Take one of the balls, roll it up. Now we're just gonna roll it into a nice snake-like shape. Once they're into these cut-size pieces, you actually want to wash your hands first. If it's too dry, it's going to make it harder to roll out. Alright, once they're rolled out, we have a nice little boba ball right there. Use whatever starch you have. Put it in the bowl so they don't stick together. We're going to plop that in, roll it around. Set that off to the side and then we're gonna do the rest of these. gonna take our brown sugar. We're gonna make syrup for the boba as well as for the outside of the popsicle molds. This is a rough amount for as much as you think will be enough for the amount of popsicles you're making. I'm gonna go with about 6 tablespoons. I'll go with 8 for now. Put it on a medium heat. You don't want it too hot. Alright, once it bubbles like that, turn it off. Stir it up. I'm gonna dump the boba into the brown sugar. So I've been trying multiple methods in making the boba itself over the past few days. Right now, this recipe isn't perfect. It still does get a little bit hard straight out of the freezer, unlike the original. Just make sure you defrost them a little bit before. It's a little bit liquidy, so I'm gonna add some tapioca starch with water. It's gonna help it thicken a bit. As you can see, it is getting thicker. Alright, perfect, turn it off. So now that the mixture has had time to cool for about 30 to 40 minutes, the syrup is nice and thick. And the boba had all of that time to soak in the brown sugar flavor. So pretty much what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take our popsicle molds. We're gonna take a spoonful of just the syrup. Doesn't have to be perfect, and then we're gonna spin the mold around so we can get that brown sugar syrup everywhere. Set it onto our popsicle mold rack. We're gonna continue with the rest of them. Alright, so we're moving on to making our ice cream base. We're gonna need heavy whipping cream and condensed milk. So it's a pretty easy recipe. You're gonna need 2 cups of whipping cream. And then before that, you wanna make sure the bowl that you're mixing it in is cold so that it's easier to whip up. Got 2 cups of heavy cream here. Pretty much making whipped cream and then adding the condensed milk for the sweetener. So we're gonna whip this up, and then when it hits the soft peak stage, we're gonna add in half a can of condensed milk. As you can see, the mixture is definitely thickened, but you do want to mix it a little bit more. You're getting both ice cream, but you're also giving yourself a good forearm workout. This texture is perfect. Still holding its shape, but it's not too stiff. You can still mix it and it's nice, smooth and creamy. Pour in about half of a 14-ounce can, or you can adjust it to your taste. Mix it out. We are at the last step to making brown sugar boba ice cream at home. So you're gonna grab your mixture here, take a spoonful, plop it in. Grab your boba and syrup right here. Grab a few pieces of boba and try to get just the boba itself, and less of the syrup or it's gonna be too sweet. You have some boba there. We're gonna take this cream, spread it in there, tap it, just make sure it's nice and even. All right, so we got one made right here. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're here on our second and final day of this sweet and patient-filled boba adventure. the whole day. We were playing with balls, we were whipping some cream, and it is finally time to soon enjoy the fruits of our labor and suck on these popsicles. So the first thing you want to do after they get frozen out of the freezer, you want to run these under hot water for 10 seconds on each side. Just make sure it's able to lift out easily. If you don't, you're gonna waste all of that time that you spend making these. You want to make sure your pull-out game is strong, or the ice cream is gonna get stuck in the mold, and you don't want that. So we're gonna run over to the sink. I'm gonna take these out of their mold and I'm gonna show you what they look like. So this is what it looks like straight out of the mold. Unfortunately, some of the brown sugar syrup got stuck in the mold here. So if you have extra, I would save some, and then you can go ahead and right before you eat it, you can take some of that syrup, and then we're just gonna spoon it on. And then you get that extra punch of brown sugar flavor. I actually decided to set them back in the freezer after I added the extra brown sugar syrup on top. So this is the final product. We got the nice streaks of the brown sugar syrup on the outside, and then you can see the boba balls poking out right there. And then this right here is the OG. It's around the same size, and this one is clearly a lot darker, so you know this one has a little bit more of a deeper flavor. But in terms of looks, it's not perfect, obviously. But this is made at home, this is made in a factory. So we're gonna take a bite of both. I'm gonna take the original first, and then I'm gonna try my version. So, bottoms up. So right off the bat, you get a deeper brown sugar flavor. I could have let mine go a little bit longer, but I don't wanna risk burning it. And then we got the mochi boba right there. It's still soft. It's pretty hard to make the mochi stay soft like that after it gets frozen, since the original version has all kinds of preservatives and chemicals to make sure that it stays soft. Alright, this is my guy right here. It's melting a lot faster. We're gonna go in and try it. This one is definitely creamier and softer. These have been out of the freezer for a bit, so it is softer. Brown sugar flavor is there, definitely. Oh, okay. Okay, I see you, Nathan. Okay, so if you eat these straight out of the freezer, the boba balls are gonna be hard, but since these have softened up a bit, it's actually pretty soft. Yeah. Still soft, has a chew to it, and that's a nice balance of texture with the soft and creamy ice cream. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like down below. Comment if you make these at home. I appreciate all your feedback as always. Thank you again so much for watching. Share this with anyone you think would love to make these boba bars at home. Stay safe, stay hungry, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
This is the end.